What is the correct way to pronounce your stage name?
Marqus Clae.
Do people mispronounce this?
Absolutely.
Do people misspell it?
Absolutely.
What do you notice people do more?
Both is equal. They either say Marqus Clae, Marqus Clae, or don't even know how to pronounce that shit at all.
Do you correct people when they're wrong?
Absolutely.
Now, what's the story with the stage name? What are the details of its origin?
Clae, Marqus is my real first name, but Clae is an acronym. It stands for Creating Legacy All Day, Every Day. CLAE.
And was the acronym created first, or you had this stage name created and then you made an acronym for it?
The acronym was created first.
And what's the story behind that acronym?
Just something I was trying to do to be, you know, different almost. Just explaining what I wanted to convey as far as my name. Because it was in the time where I was rebranding myself from Young Marqus to Marqus Clae. So I was like, what's something that I could do to make me almost stand out, or stand out pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
When it comes to your music, were both of these names used for your music career?
Yeah, Marqus Clae.
But
yeah.
Young Marqus
yeah,
as well?
Absolutely.
Okay. Were these the only two names ever used?
Yep.
Marqus is your first or middle name?
First.
And is it spelled exactly the way it looks in your stage name?
Yep. Marqus.
And what are the details behind that? Do you know why you were named that? Why it's spelled that?
Yeah, I was named
you that?
Yeah, I was named after my uncle. But my family didn't want me to have the exact same spelling as him, so they was like put a Q in it to make it different almost.
And is this an uncle on your mother's side or father's side?
Yeah, my mom's brother.
Now, because people do mispronounce and misspell it, was there ever a thought on legally changing your name?
Mm-mm.
And why incorporate your birth name for your stage name? Because there's some recording artists that stay away from their birth name.
Right. I mean, I fuck with my name, you know? It's my name, so why not use it professionally, you know what I'm saying?
Has that ever been a concern or even end up being an issue for you, using a portion of your real name as your stage name?
Mm-mm. Not at all.
Did you have a nickname growing up by any chance?
Yep.
And what were they?
Boy Wee. That's what my family called me. I don't know where they get that shit from.
Do you know who coined that for you?
My great-grandmother, Granny, that's what we called her.
Was there any thought on incorporating that nickname as a stage name?
It was. I thought about it, but then I was like, nah, I'm just say that for the family. I ain't gonna run around this whole calling myself Boy Wee.
Now, in regards to your stage name, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened with it, if anything?
As far as my name?
Yeah, your actual stage name.
Nothing crazy.
And when it comes to your music, you've already mentioned there was a name change. What was the reasoning for that change?
Just me maturing within my music. You know, I wanted to scratch the young and come up with something that like I felt like was a better fit for the type of music I was doing as I was growing within my career.
Go ahead, sorry.
Nah, you know, because I felt like I was getting better within my music and getting older, so I didn't want to have that young stigma on me, you know what I'm saying?
Did you feel like there were also too many youngs at that point?
That was part of it. Yep.
Was there ever a thought on just being called Marqus, the way it's spelled your birth name, and not having anything attached to it, like Clay, for example?
Nah, nope.
And the perspective of that question is sometimes when recording artists have like Young or even Little, for example, when they drop that portion of their name off, they just remain with maybe the bulk of what their name was.
Right.
For example, like Young Jeezy now goes by Jeezy. Or Little Bow Wow goes by just Bow Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. So just curious there. And when you made this name change, did that affect your brand by any chance?
Mm-mm. Nope.
Didn't affect money or anything of that nature?
Mm-mm.
Why do you think that was?
To be honest, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like, to me, it made everything better. You know what I'm saying? I felt like it was more easy because it was something I wanted to do. And pretty much, it made everything flow better to me.
And even though this has been your stage name for quite some time, relatively speaking, were there any other stage names you wish you could have changed it to?
Nah. I haven't thought about that.
And the perspective of that question is, sometimes when people have a stage name, deep down inside, even though they're known and branded as a name, they wish they could have been a different name.
Right.
But maybe it's too late.
Right.
So just curious what your thoughts were on that. Asked you a lot of questions in regards to your stage name. With everything considered, any regret with the final stage name choice?
Not at all.
Care to shed any light on that phrase there?
Sparta?
Yes.
That's my alias. Spartan. Fucking rap fucking warrior.
And is that a name that someone coined for you, or you coined yourself?
My auntie, she calls me Spartacus. She been calling me that since I was a kid, the youngest. I guess it was like another way to say Marcus in a weird way, but you know, I'm tapping in deeper, so I'm like, damn, let me use that, but use it in a term to where it means like warrior, you know?
Do you know what sparked her to use that name or nickname back then?
She got a mind of her own, bro. To be honest, I don't know where she get that shit from. But I fucked with it, though. I always thought it was dope.
And this was an aunt on your mother's side?
My mom's sister, youngest sister.
Was there ever a thought on using that nickname or name as a stage name, perhaps?
Nah. I always wanted to use it as my alias, though. So I shorted it for Sparta. From Spartacus to Sparta.
Oh, so she called you Spartacus?
Yeah, she used to call me Spartacus. She still calls me that shit to this day. Absolutely. Like, if she walked in this room right now, what's up, Spartacus? That's my name for her. I always thought that shit was cool.